Okay? Last but not least I want to talk about is plutonium. Now the reason that man fissioned uranium in the first place was to create plutonium, because when you've got a uranium-238, I can't go through the whole chemistry, but when you've got a uranium-238 atom and there are neutrons flying everywhere, the uranium-238 captures a neutron and turns into plutonium. And the best plutonium is plutonium-239, because that's what you make bombs with. So every reactor makes 250 kilos a year of plutonium, and you need 5 kilos to make a bomb. So we're selling our uranium all over the world, so any country that has our uranium in a reactor can make up to 50 bombs a year, or more. Take it in. We're wicked. And I speak now as a physician. Now, plutonium is so toxic that a millionth of a gram, if inhaled, will most certainly give you cancer. In fact, when they injected it into beagle dogs, they didn't find a dose low enough that didn't give all the dogs cancer. So, it's said that if you took a pound of plutonium, I mean, I don't think you couldn't do this, but deposited it uniformly in all the lungs on Earth, it could kill most people on Earth. So each reactor makes 250 kilos of it. It's an alpha emitter, and it's got a half-life of 24,400 years. So it's around for 500,000 years. And when I talked about plutonium in the 70s to the Australians and the Union movement, we developed a bumper sticker which said, plutonium is thalidomide forever, because the body thinks it's iron. So if you inhale plutonium into your lung, which it's not absorbed well through the GI tract, but in the lung, it deposits here and just irradiates a tiny volume of cells, remember, with the alpha particle, but then it can be, and cause lung cancer. It can be translocated by white blood cells who grab it and put it in the lymph nodes in the mediastinum, the middle of the chest, where it can mutate a cell to cause Hodgkin's disease or lymphoma. It's stored in the liver, where of course iron's stored, where it can cause liver cancer. It's stored in the bone because the hemoglobin is full of iron. So if plutonium gets in the bone, it can either cause bone cancer by mutating a cell in a bone-producing cell, causing osteogenic sarcoma, or leukemia. Plutonium, interestingly, unlike most other nasty things, actually crosses the placenta. The placenta lets nothing pass. It's very protective of the fetus. But because plutonium is an iron analogue, it gets into the fetus, where it can kill a cell that's going to form the left half of the brain, the right arm. Do you remember thalidomide, the drug that pregnant women took and their babies were born with no arms or no legs? I had a man who drove a bobcat at my property in Byron Bay and he had no arms. Drove his bobcat. He had a radio station, he worked everything with his toes. I think it was called the Big Toe Radio Station. He was the thalidomide baby. But plutonium is thalidomide forever, because it also likes to concentrate in testicles, and every male in the Northern Hemisphere has a tiny amount of plutonium in his testicle, and it deposits next to the spermatogonia that are the precursors of the sperm, where it can irradiate cells, causing genetic mutations, increasing genetic disease down the time track. So the abnormal genes are passed on generation to generation, and if the man's cremated, the plutonium goes out the chimney so another man can breathe it in. And so you can see an exponential increase in genetic disease for the rest of time. Plutonium. 250 kilograms made per year in a reactor.